Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Aquinas High School. I'm Jason Scherer, along with our head coach, James Leonard, and welcome to our preview for 2021. Coach, coronavirus is over, the restrictions are over. We're about a week away right now from summer camp and really getting things started for the fall season. But first of all, welcome back. How's Hudson and the family?
Hudson's doing great. You know, he's big, very big boy, 40-something pounds already. Wife's doing great, just graduated nurse practitioner school, very proud of her, but the family's doing really good. They're ready for football.
That's good. And Hudson learned how to snap, I understand?
Taught Hudson how to snap, shotgun snap today. So he's, you know, Mom wants him to be a quarterback. I'd rather him be a center, so we're kind of fighting that right now.
Well, we got Will Few. We've got a lot of guys that have played great centers here at Aquinas High School. We've got one in college. We're going to talk about those guys here in just a little bit. But as we get started this evening, let's please talk about this year, what we have coming up. Always the first thing people like to ask about is who are our seniors, who are our leaders. Talk a little bit about our seniors and the leadership this year.
Yeah, so we have 6 seniors this year, small class, but have been very, very happy with that class so far this summer. Jonah O'Neill, Charlie Bussey, Caleb Bussey, Carter Elliott, R.J. Edwards, and Doc Bruton are our 6 seniors. And then you throw in junior Kevin Douglas. I think you got some really good leadership. Something we are going to do differently this year, though, is we're not just going to rotate seniors being captains. We're going to pick 6 captains. Right now we've selected 2. You know, the goal is to have all 6 selected by the end of camp. Once we have all 6 of those selected, you know, we'll definitely get Patrick to get it out on social media and, you know, make sure everybody knows that they earn those spots. But right now we're looking for 4 more guys, so we'll hopefully get that figured out by the end of camp.
I read something interesting this summer where it talked about everybody wants to be led, but not everybody wants to lead. So that's a great philosophy, in my opinion, picking up guys that, not just that you're a senior, you're a captain, but you've got to show some leadership. Kevin Douglas, obviously everybody familiar with Aquinas football is familiar with the Douglas family and Kevin, and he's been with you for a long time as the head coach.
Yeah, you know, Kevin, you know, when I first started as the head coach, Joseph was the ball boy, then of course he played, he had a heck of a career here. And then as soon as Joseph started his freshman year playing here, Kevin took over. You know, they both got it. Patrick passed it down to them. So it's been in their family for a long time. But yeah, me and Kevin have always been very close, just like me and Joseph were. And he, you know, since I think he's been around the program so long, seen how good of players and leaders his brothers were, and then, you know, being around since I've taken over, he kind of sees how we like to do things. He has turned into a very big-time leader for us. Been very happy with Kevin.
So as we talk about the year and the seniors that we're obviously excited about and the leadership that we're implementing, offense and defense, defense wins championships. Talk a little about the defense, and then we'll lead into the offense.
Yeah, you know, defensively, well, first off, you know, we graduate 16 seniors, so both sides of the ball took a pretty big hit. Defensively, we're going to be changing up a lot. We're going to be going a completely different route as far as the front and some coverages we haven't really ever done in the past year. Coach Beal's done a great job getting it all together, along with Coach Ski and Coach Stewart. But you know, we're excited. You know, we plan on being a little bit more aggressive this year on defense. We're nowhere near as big up front. Don't have the depth up front, so a lot of smaller guys that are quick and tough can rotate in there for us. We feel like we've got some good players in the secondary. We already have some good players in the secondary now. Patrick Green's joined us. Very good basketball and track player here, or track runner here for us. Excited about him. Buddy Rose coming in as a freshman. I think he can help us both sides of the ball. And then Brandon Ross has transferred in from Glen Hills and been very impressed with him on the defensive side of the ball this summer. You know, as he learns the offense, he'll help us there as well. But, you know, we're excited about defense heading into camp.
And Jonah O'Neill's going to drop back from the line to the linebacker spot. So having that spot in the middle and as the quarterback maybe of the defense is going to help out a lot as a senior.
Yeah, so Jonah's going to go from the defensive line to a linebacker spot. If you don't know Jonah, tremendous leader for us, extremely intelligent kid. He's definitely the quarterback of the defense. He'll be the strong side linebacker, so he can kind of be a hybrid player. And he's done a really, really good job helping the guys learn the defense this summer. Been very happy with Jonah.
And moving over to the offensive side of the ball, obviously the offense starts really at the quarterback position. James Schlegel, who last couple years was the starting quarterback for our Fighting Irish. James could put his head down and get yards where nobody else could do that. James has graduated. He's going on to play college baseball. Talk about who's going to take his spot in the quarterback position and then move out from there, the skill guys.
Yeah, you know, losing James Schlegel is a huge loss. you know, he was a heck of a player as soon as he got here. Jumped in the starting quarterback role right out the gate. But the thing we're going to miss about James the most is the leader he became his senior year. I was very, very happy and proud of James' senior year at Aquinas. Tremendous rushing the football, big-time locker room leader, one of the hardest workers I ever coached. You know, going to play college baseball at the next level, so very happy for him. But he does leave a huge hole here for us, so we got to figure it out. Thank goodness we had Liam Welch, state championship quarterback here for us, still currently playing at Sanford, coached our quarterbacks spring ball through the month of June. All 5 of our high school quarterbacks plus St. Mary's quarterbacks, Jack Rose, so St. Mary's in very good hands this year with Jack. But yeah, we've got some guys. You know, we're not set on anybody right now. We told them we probably won't make our minds up till after the scrimmage. You know, they know we're going to go with whoever runs our offense and gives us the best chance to win. So, you know, right now I wouldn't say there's any leader. Charlie Bussey, Walker Mobley, Diego Washington are all battling it out. You got Jim Franklin's a freshman, done very well for us. Chris Jackson's been working out of that spot too. So you know we told them there'll be a starter, backup on the varsity, a starter on the JV, and a backup on the JV. So we'll figure that out by the end of the camp for sure.
At running back position, we've had our last couple of running backs are now playing college football. R.J. Edwards, Clark Jackson, among others. Those two guys are going to switch most of the carries at running back.
Yeah, so you know RJ feels like he's been here 10 years, but that tells you how good RJ is because he got on the field that much as a freshman, sophomore, and then of course last year as a junior. RJ has some of the best vision at the running back position I've ever coached. You know, the goal is keep him healthy. We know he can carry the football. He's gotten very big, very strong in the weight room. So, you know, we're really looking forward to RJ's senior year, and then it's not often you got somebody else in the backfield like Clark Jackson. Clark's only going to be a sophomore, but he's extremely talented, very strong kid. You know, we're very running back, you know, oriented in our offense. So Malachi Gordon will be both playing running back and our Z receiver this year, which is kind of our motion receiver. He's a very good athlete, so trying to find ways to get him the ball. You got Copeland Thurman back there, Braden Fortson. So we got some guys that can run the football. Barrett Alexander is going to be moving to the A-back spot, which is left open by Walter Jordan, who did a great job last year. So, you know, we feel good, regardless who wins the quarterback job, that we're going to be strong in the backfield. Out on the skill positions, you know, Kevin Delgas back, adding Patrick Green and Buddy Rowe is going to help really big time at the receiver spot. Card Elliott's going to be a senior, knows the offense very well. Frank Anderson's moving over to receivers, done very good this summer. So we feel good about the offense in whole, but you know, we're going to battle it out and see who wins those spots in camp.
And obviously the offensive line is where it all starts and stops.
Yeah, you know, if you come watch us play, you know, we're not very good if we have a bad offensive line, and we've been very, very lucky the past 8 years to have a great offensive line. You know, Duncan Johnson, Vincent Dresser, we call him Vinny, 2 big tackles. They're only going to be juniors. Happy with those guys. Jonah O'Neal and Caleb Bussey, seniors at the guard position, a lot of experience. You know, we got a battle at the center spot, Charlie Evans and T.J. Jackson. So we're very happy with those 6 guys. And then we got a bunch of young guys. So the future looks bright at the offensive line spot, so we're happy with all that.
So, Coach, moving into the season, a couple of milestones for you personally that I know you don't like talking about yourself, you like talking about the team, but you will be coaching your 100th game here this season, and right now with 75 wins, hopefully we can get that up closer to 90 this year, but we've got a lot of wins coming up this year, hopefully. But a couple of big milestones this year. We're going to start off on August the 6th. We've got Hepzibah. We're going to go down to Hepzibah down in South Augusta for a scrimmage. On the 20th of August, we will host Harlem here at Aquinas. The next week, we'll host Cross Creek. On the September the 3rd, we go to Jenkins County for our first road trip of the year. We then host a week later First Presbyterian. The next week, 9/17, we'll be at Strong Rock, at Tacknell. Host Mount DeSales the first week of October. A bye week not until 10/8. So we got a lot of games there to start the season off. What are your thoughts on those first few games as the first half of the season?
Well, you know, the first thing that jumps out is, you know, it was kind of a pain last year playing that many 6 away games, but, you know, it's going to benefit us this year. We got 6 home games. You know, the scrimmage is just down the road. One of the away games is Jenkins County, which is only a little bit over an hour away. So that benefits us greatly playing at home and playing some of the away games closer. So we're very excited about that. But we feel like we got a great schedule. You know, Hefspa's done a good job the past couple of years, so that'll be a great test in scrimmage. Harlem's always a battle, so them coming here is going to be great for us. Jenkins County's got great players. Cross Creek, the retired friend of mine, Brian Lewis, he's going to do a great job getting that program back. So we know we're expecting a battle with those guys. And then in our crossover games with Mount DeSales, Tatnall, FPD, Strong Rock, there's some great programs with really good coaches. So, you know, we feel like we get tested very, very early, which is what we need playing in Savannah, the Savannah region, which we think, and a couple other people have voted, that's the toughest private region in single A. So we need to be tested early, and I think that's what we've done with our schedule.
And 6 home games, we were talking earlier, that's the most home games we've had under your tenure here at Aquinas. So everybody loves Friday night on the Hill for Irish football, so a great opportunity to come support the Irish 6 times at home this year. And Coach, like you were saying, a couple of away games is really not that far away, so we appreciate all the support. And the support on the road is so huge. For the guys to look up in the stands and to hear the roars and to hear the support means so much. So we got our bye week on the 8th of October. The next week we host Savannah Country Day, a game that came down to the wire last year, overtime, a heartbreaking loss down there in Savannah. We then we go to Savannah Christian, the Red Raiders. We have a bye week on the 29th, right there before Halloween, and then November the 5th we host Calvary to end the regular season. The Savannah region, Coach, we learned last year is no joke. A lot of big kids, a lot of good programs. Talk a little about we talked about the preparation going into that, and then what do you expect out of the 3 Savannah teams? What do we know here looking forward?
No, we know they're all very good. You know, first you start with coaches. All 3 of them have outstanding head coaches and coaching staffs. You know, Savannah Christian just hired a NFL Hall of Famer to coach their linebackers. You know, Calvary was extremely young, didn't graduate a whole lot at all. Savannah Christian graduated some guys, but, you know, we know they got some really good freshmen coming in. You know, Savannah Country Day, I thought, had the best quarterback-receiver duo I've ever coached against, and we know both of them are back. So we know that's going to be 3 really tough games. You know, the goal is to get prepared in those early season games, but the big goal is to get prepared but also stay healthy. So if we feel like if we can stay healthy going into those games, you know, play our best football, we got a chance against those guys. But we know we're going to have to be very, very well prepared because, you know, like I said, their coaches do a great job and they've got great players down there.
And we had a certain number of players here in the spring practice. We really added to that. I think we're over 40. I know you know the exact number of young men are out right now. So we will be able to have a JV schedule this year. Looks like we're going to be at Greenbrier. We'll host Jenkins at Harlem. And then we'll host Washington Wilkes, host Harlem, host that team from up by the lake. And then we'll play Warren County. So a JV schedule is important to give those young guys who try so hard some playing time and some good opponents this year.
Yeah, you know, it's very important for me and our kids to have a JV program. You know, my first 4 to 5 years coaching here, I was primarily the JV coach, so that's always going to be very close to my heart. You know, those guys work so hard at practice. You know, it's not fun when you're a freshman at a single A school and we have no choice but to make you play scout team and you're getting beat on all week. But, of course, it gets you prepared, it gets you tougher, gets you ready for the long haul. But to reward those guys for how hard they practice during the week, I really wanted to make sure they could get a season in. And as of right now, it looks like we're going to have enough kids to, it won't be a huge JV team, but have enough to go and compete, and we're really excited for them.
So that's the year as we have it right now on the schedule. Now, one thing I do have to mention, Coach, is that for me personally, the bye week is on the 29th. That next week, our last regular season game when we host Calvary Day, and a lot of folks know and a lot of folks don't, but my wife and I are expecting a baby girl. She's due on the 6th or the 9th, one or the other. But the important thing is we might need some help in the press box. So if you've ever wanted to be a high school football announcer, this might be your lucky year. If you feel so called to want to come up and talk in the press box, let me know because we might need some help later in the year.
I think we ought to get Father Patrick May up here in Augusta if that happens.
I agree. Let's start texting Father May right now. All right, so moving along, the coaches are so important, and you've always done a great job. You've learned from some great coaches, and you've always said you surround yourself with people smarter than yourself. And this year is no different. You've got some great guys coming back, so talk about who's coming back, and then we've got a couple of new guys that I know we're real excited about.
Yeah, coming back, Tyler Beal, defense coordinator, he's done a great job, having to transition to what we're going to do this year. I think he's done a really good job. He's put in a ton of hard work this offseason on top of his real job. So very, very happy with Coach Beal. Glad that he's here. Coach Ski was new last year. He's going to be back this year, moving from offensive line to defensive line, and he'll also be the assistant head coach this year. I lean on Coach Ski a lot. He was a coach and is a coach and been an AD for 30-plus years. Just a guy that I can lean on and ask questions about anything. He always has my back. People have no idea how much he does for me behind the scenes. This week, for example, he's been painting the locker room, running errands, whatever we need him to do, he does it. And we really appreciate Coach Ski doing that. Coach John Stewart's back to coach our outside linebackers. Coach John Parrish is going to work with the wide receivers and DBs along with John Weigel and Ward Tyre. Very excited about those three guys, all graduates from Aquinas. Coach Justin Thompson is back, played on the state championship team here in 13, kicked at Kennesaw State. He's our special teams coordinator, so excited JT's back. He did a great job last year. New this year is Ethan Crawford, who was on the state championship team, on the semifinal team, on the state finalist team. Went and had a heck of a career at Liberty University. He's back. He's taking over our strength and conditioning program. He's done a great job making it his own. The kids have bought in. They love him. We've gotten stronger and faster. He's also going to coach the offensive line. Really, really happy with new ideas he's brought for our offense. And then along with him, our new head baseball coach is Colby Painter. He'll be joining up the football program as well when he's available. He'll work with me in the offensive backfield. He's actually Coach Thompson's brother-in-law, so very excited to have Coach Crawford and Coach Painter here this year. I think they're going to bring a lot of energy, and I think the kids are really going to like them a lot.
And Coach Crawford, in case when you're here and you see him, we called him Diesel when he was here. He was one of our bigger players in school history, here, at least in your tenure here. He's one of our bigger players we've had. Went to Liberty, bulked up, as a lot of our Division I guys do. Will Few, for example, went off, gained a lot of weight, came back, and then has lost a lot of weight. And when you see Coach Ethan Crawford, you might not recognize him. I know I didn't, and I've known the young man for the whole time he's been playing for us. So Ethan is now doing competition. He's training to be a competitive CrossFit athlete. So when you see him, he is thin, but he is strong. It's been great watching him interact with not just the football players, but the basketball teams, the young ladies and the men and the women on the basketball team. So great job seeing him. And it's got to be cool for you as a coach to see these young men that you coached are now want to come back and learn more from you.
Yeah, I don't know if it's so much learn from me. I think it's just they love the school, and this place is an easy place to love. They love the school and this program. All the guys that played under me that are back are great people, which is what we look at first. They relate to kids very well. Like you said, Coach Crawford is not only the strength coach for football, but all sports, which we're excited about. He's been working hard with all of our female athletes, all of our male athletes. I think you're going to see Aquinas sports across the board benefit from that. And all the coaches on campus have really bought into his vision, so I'm very excited about what he's doing in the weight room for us.
And you've always done a great job of thanking folks, and we've gone through the coaches and there's some other staff that I think you wanted to mention.
Yeah, well, first we need to start with Liam Welch. We talked about him earlier, our former quarterback. He's going to play his last year at Sanford this fall. He had a heck of a spring season, so looking forward to following his last season at Sanford. He coached our quarterback spring ball through June, so we're very, very thankful for that. They got a lot of good work in. Our support staff does so much more work than people will ever realize. We could not run our program without what they do behind the scenes. Starting with Sean Burks, our director of football operations. Jason Scherer, football information director, doing stuff like this, hosting coaches' corners, banquets, announcing the games, looking up stats, anything you can think of, Jason gets it done. Patrick Bird, who's behind the camera tonight, runs all of our social media accounts, does a great job advertising our program, getting our kids out there, making sure all football information's out there. Patrick Douglas is going to be moving home this year, joining us up in some capacity when he's available. All these guys, are real jobs going to come first. But when Patrick's available, he's going to be helping out, kind of, helping Sean with what he does for us, and then just kind of helping out wherever he can, because, I think Patrick might love Aquinas football more than anybody I've ever met, so excited to have Patrick around. David Giesler, another former player, is back running our video stuff, filming for us on game nights. Officer Paul Gunn's going to be back as our team security. Coach Mack coached me growing up. One of my mentors, great guy, does stats for us on Friday nights. Miss Allison Parrish is back as team mom, keeps me organized, does a great job for our program. And then our managers, Maggie Hogg, Mary Bryn Chappell, Amelia Donald, Ella Jordan, and Hub Weir do a great job. Work hard all summer, come to practice in the heat. You know, they're getting geared up for Helmet Week and Camp Week just like we are. They got other sports they play. They got lives outside of football, and it takes a lot of their time. And you know, they do it with a smile on their face, and they work very hard. So we're very thankful for those guys.
And this week, here we are. It's July the 20th tonight as we sit here. Helmet Week coming up, leading into Camp Week, leads into the season. Talk about how excited you are and what to expect from the young men for the next few weeks, and how important it is for the season moving forward.
Yeah, so this is my favorite 2 weeks of the season coming up. You know, next week, Georgia High School is the acclimation period. We call it Helmet Week because you're just allowed to be in helmets basically, getting ready in the heat, you know, getting organized. But we do a great job conditioning guys all summer. So, of course, we're going to condition because that's what the week's meant for, getting the guys used to the heat. But we're going to be very, very organized and try to get, while we're just in helmets, our whole offense and defense installed. So when we roll into camp, everything is ready and we can just put the pads on and get ready for that scrimmage. You know, rolling right into camp, we do it old school. We sleep here 5 nights a week, which a ton of work goes in. Sean Burke, Allison Parrish, all the people behind the scenes. That is a huge week for us. No idea how much we get done. People have no idea how much we get done. So, you know, really looking forward to that week. You know, it's great for the team to bond. You know, they're in one room together for a week. You know, we'll go off campus for a couple of events. You know, they'll basically do everything together 24/7. So we're really looking forward to that week and getting rolling. And, you know, check out at camp and 2 days later is a scrimmage. So it's coming quick.
And for me, it's a lot of fun. And for I know the parents that come up here and work, it's great to see the kids interact. They get to know each other a lot different. They still play their video games. There's ping pong challenges that usually happen throughout the week. And just the kids are all together all week long. If you don't know somebody, there's no reason that you don't get to know them a little bit during camp week. The off-campus activities are always good, either going to Brentwood. I know we've gone to the pool, bowling alley a few times in the past. So a lot of great stuff that week. And for me personally, being able to come here and help cook, serve the kids food. They get some great food. We appreciate everybody that helps and cooks throughout the year. So Camp Week is a lot of fun and really has been instrumental throughout the time we've been here. Speaking of the time we've been here at Aquinas together, obviously we started off with a bang in 2013 with the state championship. My father, who taught me everything, I taught him everything, whatever. My dad got together with Miss Lewis this past year, and he's been working on this for a little over a year, I believe, and he's worked with Coach Leonard and I've talked to a lot of folks, and we're going to have a book published this fall. It will be available this fall during the football games. It will be for sale, reminiscing and just talking about that 2013 season, and not just the season, but the preparation leading up from Coach Lizotte and what he did to prepare, and Coach Connor and to prepare, and then for that season, everything that happened, because in case you don't remember, that was your first season. So the whole idea of coming into that season, there was a lot of changeover in the book. I know Dad talked to a lot of folks and really worked hard on it. What are your thoughts on the book coming out?
Yeah, so I got to read over most of it last week. I think it's excellent. Mr. Scherer's done a great job. He's talked to a lot of players from that season, managers from that season, ball boys, alumni that were just watching the games, parents, you know, anybody you can think of. You know, I thought it was very, very good. I think it captured the season perfectly. You know, there were some really, really interesting parts that, you know, you wouldn't necessarily know if you weren't part of that staff. So I think people are going to love it, whether you had a kid on the team that year or not. If you're just a fan of Aquinas football, I think you're going to love it. A lot of hard work went into that, so really appreciate him doing that, and Miss Lewis backing it up. So I think that's going to be great when it comes out.
And, you know, it's one of those 30 for 30 type things where everybody has their own view of what happened that year, whether you were a coach, whether you were in the stands as an announcer, whether you were a fan, or whether you didn't know Aquinas football as well maybe as you do now. But to hear the point of view from the players, I thought was the coolest part, because Dad sat down and talked to the John Morris and Liam Welches and some of those young men who were on the field. The Mount Pisgah game was as epic as they say that game was. Really some interesting perspectives from a lot of different folks, so we're excited about that book coming out. And not a lot of programs are able to publish a book like that. I know Dad's worked hard on it. He'll call me every now and then and be like, hey, ba-da-da. He'll ask some questions, and so it's been a lot of fun working on that. So we just want to make sure we plug that, and we're excited. Speaking of the past meets the present, when we have 14 young men currently playing college football who played here at Aquinas, which is amazing when you think of the numbers and the Class A classification we have. A lot of hard work if you would start and go down the list of all the young men that we have playing in college.
Yeah, so we've had 23 go on to play in college football since 2013, and that's not to mention the guys before them, like the greats like Brendan Douglas, Will Few, John Douglas, Lee Malco, Pat Norman. So we put out college athletes well before 2013, but just trying to keep up with it. Currently, we got 14 guys at the next level on rosters. We got Liam Welch at Sanford, Dylan Jordan at West Georgia, Joseph Douglas at the Citadel, Cam Brinson at Furman, Will Evans at Ohio University, Ruben Garnett's going to finish up his career at Austin Peay, Crimmins Hankinson is at Butler Community College right now, Lawson Batchelder is at Presbyterian, A.J. Williams is at Army, Darius Stone at Air Force, Michael Bowles at Campbell University, Joseph Welch is going down to Georgia Southern, Antonio Wilder at Limestone, and Jaden Blunt at Valdosta State. So really excited about tracking those guys this fall, all 14 of them, trying our best to keep up with them every Saturday morning, Thursday nights if they play Thursdays. But, it's really fun when you wake up after a game Friday night and, get ready to watch those guys on TV or, ESPN Plus or whatever it is.
It was really neat this fall, or this spring, I guess. We were at the game at the Citadel. Sanford comes down to the Citadel. Joseph Douglas on the sidelines. He was injured that game. And Liam Welch comes down and leads the Sanford to a great win. But it was cool. We're at the game, and Coach and I are down in the end zone, and all of a sudden he starts getting some text. Lawson Batchelder catches a 73-yard. So, how great was it to be able to be there, watching two guys, seeing a video of another guy. We got to talk to Lawson on the phone. That was just a neat moment.
Yes, me, Jason, and Sean Burke are in the end zone. We get to watch Liam. One of his rushing touchdowns comes right at us. We get to make eye contact with Joseph, get to talk to him after the game. While all that's going on, the Presbyterian game had wrapped up. Their head coach actually called me to tell me how well Lawson had played that day, which was awesome. So, of course, we picked up the phone and called Lawson. He was really excited. Also got a text driving back that night from Valdosta State talking about how well Jaden's doing down there and adjusting to college life. So, it's not rare for us to get college coaches texting or calling us to tell us how well our guys were prepared academically because they were coming from such a good academic school. Like Darius and AJ at the service academies, their coaches tell us all the time what great young men they are, how well they're doing adjusting to that tough lifestyle, and I think our guys are prepared to go to the next level because of what we do in the classroom here.
It's absolutely great, and it really is a testament to the work that goes on in the school building as well as here and in the weight room. So as we wrap up tonight, Coach, we're looking forward to this season, but you've always done a very good job of thanking people because, as you've always said, you work very hard, and a lot of people around you support you and what you do and what we do here at Aquinas. So if you would, I know you got some thank yous before we wrap up tonight.
Yeah, we have a lot to be thankful here. We are a small school, but there's a ton of people involved in getting this thing going, and not just the football program. Aquinas Athletics and all have been doing great. I think we've got some great new head coaches of different sports that have been hired, so really excited about not only football season coming up, but all of our sports coming up this year. But we'll start the thank yous off. Of course, my wife, all the coaches' wives and families, the support staff, wives and families. We spend a lot of time away from our families, so thank you for supporting us for what we do. Our administration is first class, next to none. Miss Maureen Lewis, Shannon Williams, and Joe McBride, our athletic director. They do a great job supporting all athletics, not just football. Everything we do here, they are at the games, they're selling tickets, whatever needs to be done. Couldn't ask for better bosses. The front office staff is phenomenal. Miss Garrison, Miss Hagler, Miss Casey Johnson's joined up this year, doing a great job. Tim Presbus, if you know me, I don't do technology very well at all. I don't know how many times he's had to come in and show me how to turn on my computer this year. Miss House does a great job as far as helping me with our budget and all that. Ms. Anderson, our school nurse, couldn't have done last season without her with all the COVID stuff. Mr. Erskine, Todd Erskine, our facilities director, he's a huge help. We've been doing a lot of work in the locker room this week. He's helped us tremendously. And then the next one, we just got done with our barbecue fundraiser. Huge success, most we've ever raised. Big time event. We put it on very, very well. Really need to say thank you to the Ray and Michael Bussey family for out there cooking in the heat, the rain. They pretty much got every element you could think of in one day. And they did it with a smile on their face, and they do it every year. Some of the best barbecue and hash you'll ever eat. Luckily for me, I got to take a lot home. The Parrish family for organizing at Craig and Allison do a great job getting that organized, getting everything ready. And then Mr. Les Perry for donating the chicken. So very, very thankful for those families and all the families and players that came up and helped that day.
Well, Coach, thank you so much for your time. We're excited about the 2021 season. Again, I'm sure we'll have a graphic up here on the screen here soon where we'll have our season that's coming up. We're all excited about the 2021 season. We look forward to seeing you. Our opening game versus Harlem, August the 20th, 7:30 p.m. right here at Aquinas. Thank you all. Have a great night, and go Irish.